This is a little bit ranty, but I want to talk about load management. It's a buzzword that's being thrown around at the moment by loads of people, and I think it's being used as a little bit of a I suppose it's the new thing, isn't it? It's everyone's like, oh, we're all about load management now. We're not about you got a structural imbalance and that's what's causing your knee pain. We're not about sort of banded rehab or doing exercises that look a little bit like just flopping your body around on the floor. When we're about a holistic, sort of method of looking at the person in front of us, we consider the biopsychosocial model of pain and all the kind of lifestyle factors that feed into an athlete or recreational exerciser's ability to move, to experience pain, ability to recover from the work that they're doing, And I think one really dangerous thing is that we kind of pull it all down and we just call it like it's semantics basically. And I've seen a post today that was like, if your physio or coach isn't talking to you about load management, then they're a charlatan. And well, yeah, I'd be inclined to agree. There's loads of real ways of thinking about that without calling it load management. Not least because when you say the word load to people, they tend to snigger. If they're like me, because it's funny. But jokes aside, every physio, coach, every PT, every common or garden variety PT I've ever experienced in my life is doing load management. And that might look like they give you an RPE, and that RPE might stay the same, it might ascend, depending on what they're looking to get out of you. But that is a way of managing the load. So if they've ever said, I want you to work at a 7 out of 10 effort level, that was managing the load. If they've ever given you a prescribed number, a prescribed weight or a range to lift in, they're doing load management. That is literally managing the load that your body is experiencing. If anyone's ever asked you how your day was or how your week's going or how your sleep was or how's food been this week, that is all a form of load management, because then we come into this biopsychosocial model of pain, which basically looks at all the lifestyle factors around whether or not you are recovering well from the stresses that you're putting on your body. So we might say, actually, you don't really have a shoulder injury as such, you're just failing to recover well from the work that you're doing. So we maybe need to reduce the work a little bit. Another way, a coach might manage load, reduce or increase the work according to how you're experiencing it. Or we will change our ability to recover from it and heal from it and gain muscle from what we've been doing. So then we look at these other factors, the nutrition, the lifestyle, the how much stress you're under, what your work's doing, etc., etc. All of that stuff is load management. Like, all of it is load management. Like, just damn straight it's load management. If anyone's ever said you've got a really I might use, wow, like the outside of your hip looks really unstable. And I might say that to somebody when they're lunging in front of me. And I can see that on one side, they're powerfully lunging forward and back. And on the other side, I can see a real leak and a shift to the side. And they've come to me coincidentally because they've got lower back pain or they've got knee pain. And guess what? It affects that side, or maybe it affects the other one for reasons. But regardless, when I say you've got a laterally unstable hip, I'm not trying to tell you that I've not tried to be an MRI machine and looked at your hip joint and gone, I think that your hip is fundamentally unstable. What I've looked at is, how are you moving? Does it look roughly similar both sides? Could I infer from the difference between those sides that there is, that you could be more stable, that you could look more stable? I think that's a fair way of putting it, isn't it? And actually what I'm referring to is the co-contractions of muscles around your joints and your ability to load that joint in different directions. And that's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about, like, is, all of your muscle tissue helping you? Is it helping you as much as it should? Sort of sometimes we have, we really like to use certain parts of our body over others, and it's reasonable to share the load. And spoiler alert, share the load onto your laterally unstable hip, get all the muscles around it working a little bit better and a little bit more readily. And what do you have? You've got load management. So I suppose this is a bit of a like, don't be frightened by internet people going, oh my God, your practitioner's a piece of shit because they've never discussed this with you. Because actually, it's the rare practitioner that doesn't, in some format, whether they're asking you how many hours of work or training that you do a week when you sit down in the physio office, whether it's, sort of your coach checking in to see how you're moving and, oh, I gave you that weight, but actually, like, look, the wheels are falling off your technique loads and it's not supposed to be that higher stimulus. I'm going to wind that back. That's load management. So the idea that there's, all these people that are going around like headless chickens, like are not understanding that the whole fucking point is load management. Of course it is. But it's just a semantic way of describing lots of different activities. So, that's my little debunking for today.